Harvest season is upon us, and we're summoning our entire family of 6 to help pull it off this year. This week, we're harvesting our first wave of crops and making plans to preserve the food to last us as long as possible. Living on a small homestead, life moves very quickly, and even though it feels like summer just started, we're beginning to lay foundations for the fall season. So I was down and out, super sick for a few days this week, and I come out to the garden this morning and there's a ton of stuff that's ready to be harvested. We're going to get some of that harvested today, show you how we're getting ready to preserve it. We also have some fungus issues starting and I got to figure out what to do about it.
Middle of the road, it's just a feeling of a distant melody unknown. I was doing fine, I minded my own business.
So we do have some of our tomatoes that we need to get harvested today. Some of them look a little underripe, but the thing that can happen with tomatoes, especially if there's fluctuations in water or if there's a drought period and then they all of a sudden get a lot of water, is that they can ripen from the inside out. So they can still look a little bit green on the outside, but be overly ripe on the inside, which can be super deceiving, and they can actually kind of rot, but still appear to be green on the outside. I'm really going by feel with these. So you want to feel the tomato and see kind of how squishy it is. And if it feels ripe, then you want to pick it and let it ripen the rest of the way inside. And that's what I'm doing today.
Well, I thought I knew what life was all about. That song had already been sung. I was going on, still minding my own business. Never knew the life had just begun. You came into my life like a sweet embrace, swept me off my feet.
Update on the Premier One feeder. We have only added 2 40-pound bags of chicken feed to this thing. So on a full fill up, we're on week 3 or 4 now, and we still haven't had to add food. This thing is a total win. We don't have to come out and feed the chickens every day. They access it super easily, and it keeps everything super dry. So we've really loved it. Again, I'll put a link to this down in the video description. All right, now you saw us harvest all those cucumbers. We turned those into fridge pickles. We got 5 jars. We only have 3.5 left now, so those go pretty quickly. I harvested a ton of tomatoes, and it's not enough for us to do a full canning day, but what I'm gonna do today is cut them up and put them in bags in the freezer so that once we have pretty much all of our tomatoes harvested, then we can do a big canning day and get everything done at once. But if you put them in the freezer for a while, it's actually a lot easier that way to get the skins off for sauces and everything.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things.
All right, now I'm just gonna throw these out in the deep freezer, and we will save those for our main canning day. I also have a bunch of zucchini here that we can't eat fast enough, so I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna slice these up. I'm gonna put them in bags, about the same amount in each bag, and I have a couple meals coming up that I'm gonna make that are gonna use zucchini. So I'm gonna portion them out and we'll be ready to roll when we need them. Real quick update on the meat birds. We were able to get them out of the brooder and out on grass. The whole point of raising them ourselves is so they get the extra nutrients from eating bugs and grass and things like that. So it's really good to see them out here. They're thriving. You can see they're running around, loving the extra space. And we've been moving this thing every day to a new spot, and we're gonna keep moving it kind of along the driveway here. There's plenty of dark green grass for them to eat, so it is looking good.
step over splinters of the moon.
So something really cool I wanted to show you guys, and this has been the solution to our wintertime herb dilemma. This company called Vigo Garden reached out and they asked us to try out this indoor planter. Now, Bree and I were just talking about how are we gonna get fresh herbs in the wintertime for cooking, and this thing's actually pretty neat. So it has essentially this planter that sits on the inside, and that's where you put your soil and plant your flowers or herbs or whatever you wanna grow in there. And then it sits inside this water basin, and you can actually monitor the moisture level. So you fill the water basin through this little reservoir here, and then you can monitor when you need to add water again. I'm still checking the soil to see how it feels, but it's been keeping it at a really even level. They also sent me this grow light that this fits perfectly under, and just like under any grow light, you can start the light level about right here, and then as the plants grow, you can continue to elevate that. So if this is something you'd like to try for yourself, I did put a link down in the video description. Make sure to enter the code 4brothersfarm at checkout and they'll give you $10 off your order. It always hits a little differently when we reach the point of summer where the weather is still beautiful and warm, but we know we have to start getting fall crops in the ground. But it is what it is, and the boys and I headed out to the garden to do some planting. So these are our carrots.
Yep.
See how they're in these little strips?
Yep.
Ooh, look at those. We're gonna do this. So we got 2 long rows for carrots and 2 long rows for beans, okay?
These are beans.
So I want you to take one of these strips of carrots. Jet, you're gonna take 1 strip of them and Indy will take the other strip. And then we're gonna put them right in those rows, okay? That's some long rows.
Why do we want to do that?
So this actually keeps all the seeds so they're evenly spaced out, and then you don't have to thin them later on. You know how Mom had to go through these carrots and pick them out, and then the paper dissolves in the ground. So here you go. We could write a novel about the skills and disciplines our sons have learned on this little farm with Bree and I. We're constantly amazed at how perceptive and aware they have become with how food is created and how much it takes to keep this lifestyle going. We are so proud to see them working, laughing, and solving problems together. It would be easy for me to look at our past, from divorce to reconciliation, and feel an immense amount of guilt for the amount of pain and uncertainty that I played a part in causing for our sons. But when I see them smiling and in the garden together and laughing, that all becomes pale in comparison. There's an undeniable comfort in a child's ability to forgive and to see us as the best version of ourselves. This is something Bree and I will forever be grateful for. I cannot believe that it's August. We have so much work to do to get ready for winter. We're so far behind, and today we're gonna try to get caught up. This happens almost every time I go to start the chainsaw and it's out of gas and it doesn't have any chain oil in it. So we gotta run to the store, grab gas and chain oil. All right, after a short delay, we're back at it. We got our bar and chain oil, we got our gas. Now we're dragging the splitter over to the logs and firing up the chainsaw. We'll see if it starts. Regardless of gardens, chickens, pigs, homeschooling, or full-time jobs, there is always one annual task that seems to loom over our heads until it's almost too late, and that's making sure we have enough firewood for winter. The boys and I woke up in the morning and decided we were gonna put a dent in the work that needed done, with many more days like this to come. All right, let's try this together. We have to get it on its side. I don't know if that's gonna fit on there.